Sometimes I be right in your face and hit like Genjutsu in place. That's how it be though. Nothing but great effort just to get a C though. Eyes watching but we never seem to be though.
Sarada'S potential in Boruto. Her max potential power. Where will this character go? Now, a lot of people may or may not know that amongst the new generation of the Boruto cast, you know, Boruto, Shikadai, all of these characters, Sarada is top tier for me. I put her damn near at the top. There's a couple other characters like Mitsuki and Shikadai that I do really enjoy, but I really appreciate the fact that Sarada, she has a lot of adversity to overcome. The fact that the Uchiha, to this day, it's never really been, you know, reclaimed like, hey, they got a good name. It's not like we got a big statue of Itachi, you know what I'm saying? The Uchiha clan are still, to this day, not really, I don't want to say redeemed, but they're not up there. All the credit from the war, the great, you know, 4th grade Shinobi War, really went to Naruto and of course Kakashi and Sakura and stuff like that. But Sasuke didn't really put out a good name. He tried to redeem himself all the years in between the end of Shippuden and Boruto, but nevertheless, again, it's like they don't necessarily hate the Uchiha anymore. A lot of those ideals that Tobirama set forth aren't really in place anymore, especially with Naruto being the Hokage. He claims Sasuke as his best friend. He's not gonna let the Uchiha clan be, you know, shunned any further. But then again, there really isn't a clan anymore. It's Sasuke, his daughter, and his obsessed wife. Like, that's pretty much the Uchiha clan, and she's a Haruno, so yeah. But let's talk about her potential power, because, mind you, her goal is to become Hokage. You know that at the end of the day, you gotta have some type of strength. Kakashi, especially at his max when he had both Mangekyo and everything, he was a beast. Tsunade, whatever you want to say about her, at the end of the day, I don't think any character in the Narutoverse wants to take a punch in the face from Tsunade. And I think, again, Sarada falling into, you know, the whole next generation thing. If Sakura was the successor to Tsunade, then of course Sarada would be the successor to Sakura. And one other thing you gotta keep in mind, so we know where we're going with this. It's always been established in the Narutoverse, the next generation outdoes the previous. It's not always the case, because I don't think there's many shinobi, if aside from what, like Naruto, that really surpassed Hashirama. He was built up in the Great Shinobi War to be this absolute god. I think that kind of went against a lot of things. I don't think Kishimoto necessarily had that plan. When we first seen, of course, them, they were like, you know, not that strong. Obviously, it was a little bit of a difference because Orochimaru didn't have the exact best way to do Edo Tensei. But again, we know that for the most part, the next generation should be stronger. Now, there's always been a little bit of discrepancy in the Borutoverse, simply because these kids don't have the same type of mindset, training, you know, actual field experience and ideals as the prior generations. A lot of these generations, they grew up in war, the 3rd war, the 4th war, etc., etc., not to mention all the villains that passed through. Sarada right now, up until this point, let's just say to the beginning of Boruto, when we first actually start in the timeline, I guess with episode 1 of the anime, because technically I believe that's the earliest, besides like the day Naruto became Hokage and a couple other specials that we have canonically with the story. So Sarada, up until that point, she didn't really have any struggle. A lot of our characters, I mean, again, you know, Naruto, he really had to go through it. I guess you could argue Sakura didn't really have it too bad up until she actually became a full-fledged shinobi. And of course, Sasuke, the terrible nightmare that was his life, you know what I'm saying? His brother being a sacrifice, his brother killing his whole clan. There was a lot that these characters went through. Sarada didn't necessarily go through that, but still, of course, amongst the whole cast, she has more of, I guess I want to say, potential. Obviously, there's people like Mitsuki that, as it stands right now, wherever, the latest chapter or latest episode of anything Boruto related, I would still say Mitsuki is probably, if not the strongest, and definitely top 2 strongest amongst the new generation. Mitsuki can really hold it down. We've seen his little fight that he had, little skirmish with Shino, so we know that, you know, Mitsuki's up there, but again, Sarada's potential is insane. Now, you gotta think, how can Sarada get to the levels that her father achieved? You know, Mangekyo, Sharingan, and stuff like that. We know also, as the Naruto story progressed, there was different changes to how you obtain certain powers. For example, like we seen Sasuke after he got the eyes, and then, you know, he unlocked this and that. And we know for the most part, the more an Uchiha suffers, the more this tragedy kind of allows them to continue pushing forth with power. I mean, hence the way you unlock Sharingan to begin with is some really bad emotional pain. You're an Uchiha, bam, you got Sharingan. So the more Sarada endures, the further she goes. We know once Boruto actually starts, maybe not the anime, academy days, but of course from Boruto, Naruto the movie on, especially if you've been following the manga, things get a little bit more tough. So even though prior to the story, Sarada didn't have that much training or anything like that, she was just, a normal kid or whatever, nevertheless, things did get serious. And you gotta think for a second. She's an Uchiha, right? Sakura, whatever you want to say, the diamond and shit like that, she ultimately was shown to be strong or whatever. At the end of the day, that's a daughter, future generation. So you gotta think, if she continues on to deal with, big threats, we got right now in the manga, without giving any spoilers away, we have this giant group that is going to be, a big deal or whatever. Sarada's gonna continue going through hardship. I mean, in Boruto Naruto the movie, we seen that it was pretty bad when the Otsutsuki clan came down, Naruto seemingly died and was captured or whatever. I'm imagining if Sarada would have been, like, let's just say that was her father, that would have continued to push her even further. Now we know one of the big deals of why Sasuke in Naruto Part 1 was really trying to, do certain things, especially when he attacked Naruto, is because the pain of losing someone would unlock that next level of Sharingan. But you don't even have to necessarily experience like, oh, they actually died. It's just the pain itself that Uchiha, they're really sensitive in a way. I understand you, Uchiha! But, her potential, simply because she's supposed to, again, outdo her predecessor. If Sakura was shown to be really strong and she's an Uchiha, Sarada can easily outdo her mother. And you gotta think, okay, well, where was her mother at in the power scaling wise? At the very least, she was able to help out and get a couple of blows against a couple of, the people in the Great Shinobi War. She didn't have some incredible moments. I would argue one of Sakura's best moments in the entirety of the story actually happened in Boruto when she was being a mom and fought Shin and them. But even look at that strength. She was kicking the Shins' ass. You know what I'm saying? They had all these eyes and everything. Sarada's potential is even further than that. So at the very least, I gotta say that Sarada will be stronger than Sakura by a mile, a huge mile. And I know people are like, is that supposed to be an accomplishment? I know, but point being, a lot more is supposed to come. Now, let's talk about the beginning, because unfortunately with Boruto, we were left with this dramatic intro, and since then we really haven't had much. I believe the anime just recently started touching up on the upcoming group that's in the manga, but again, we just kind of have this huge teaser that we're about to embark in tragedy. Now, if Naruto is assumed to be dead, when Kawaki said he's going to send Boruto the way of the 7th Hokage, if he's assumed to be dead, let's take a second back. Think, wait, Sarada worships the 7th Hokage. She wants to be like him. If Boruto wants to be like Sasuke because he's that badass, cool uncle, so to speak, she wants to just be like the righteous 7th Hokage that did everything by the book. I mean, he was a knucklehead and a clown, but nevertheless, he's a good dude. She sees Naruto, something happen to him. If she's in the vicinity, that's going to be all she needs to unlock those eyes, because that's the loss of somebody that she cares about, especially at that point in the story. There's a time skip. Boruto easily looks like he's 3, maybe 4 years old, or possibly even more. He's grown since then. He looks like, at the very least, he's probably like a 17 or 18 year old. In the story, he's what, like 12 or 13 or something like that. So there's a decent gap within there. I'm imagining that if Sarada is there to witness the death of Naruto, or even Sasuke, because again, we got a question, why is it only Boruto and Kawaki? Where is everybody? Where is Sasuke? Why is Boruto wearing Sasuke's cloak and his, headband? I do believe Sasuke gave him the headband in the Boruto movie, but again, why is it seeming like Naruto and Sasuke both aren't around? Naruto's possibly dead, and who knows what happened to Sasuke. If any of those events, Sasuke especially, but also the 7th Hokage, imagine what's that gonna do to her, mentally, being an Uchiha, seeing the person that she idolizes, Naruto, die, huge impact. But her father, that she never really got to bond with like that up until recently, that'll be amazingly huge of a boost. Obviously, there's a certain amount of plot elements that is going to stop her from, necessarily passing or surpassing people like Boruto in particular, because Boruto, we see even in the beginning, he has these markings, and of course, he's going to be the leader of this whole fight against this Kawaki guy and whoever else is involved, whether it's this Kara group or anybody else. So we could kind of rule out maybe Sarada might not be stronger or as strong as Boruto there, but that's not to say that Sarada isn't a monster at that particular point, because you got to think again, Boruto has these plot elements, and if that's the strongest right there, it's usually like, yo, if that's Naruto's son, similar to how when he fought against Pain and them and Tsunade kickback, who knows, maybe at this point we might have the youngest and even female Hokage at this point, because again, where the hell is everybody? What's going on in that fight? So I'm definitely thinking the death of Naruto, or seemingly death, and whatever happened to Sasuke, Sarada is going to at the very least have Mangekyo. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with our eyes. Hey, if Sasuke actually is 100% dying or died, this could be the most craziest opportunity. Okay, you're going to kill him off? I'm going to be really like, whoa, in my feelings, but Sarada could get his eyes, bam, have somebody put them in her, and she would be an absolute monster. So the events of whatever is going to happen in the Boruto story has me very hopeful that Sarada will unlock Mangekyo and will be stronger than easily her mother, and possibly even be closer up to these people, because Sarada, on top of everything else, she's not necessarily a genius, but she's really freaking smart. You have smart, she has the genetics to do it. Uchiha genes are really, really good, except like Hashirama's genes. Like that's only one. Hashirama's genes, they're like a nice tug fit, you know what I'm saying? Okay, I'm bugging. But yeah, I totally see at the end of Boruto, Sarada having Mangekyo. I don't know where she's at in the fight against Kawaki, but it's going to be hype, and I can't wait to see Sarada being potentially either Hokage at that point, whatever the case may be. I'm starting to think, yeah, it's almost solidified. She's going to become Hokage one day. Boruto's going to be her assistant. Unless, who knows, maybe people die by then. Maybe by the end of Boruto, Boruto himself dies. That would be insane, but also it kind of meshed with, you know, the whole peace and loving and prosperity message of Naruto. I'm curious what you guys think. By the end of Boruto, how strong do you think Sarada Uchiha will be? Will she be as strong as, you know, Naruto and Sasuke? At the very least, I'm going to argue that the previous generation of, you know, the top dogs, like characters that we love and idolize, like fucking Asuma, oh, such an amazing character. I can see Sarada surpassing even him. I can see Sarada surpassing a lot of that previous generation, and I think she's going to be not necessarily the strongest Hokage, but if she gets to that Mangekyo level, she's going to surpass a lot of her predecessors, and I'm really excited. But again, your overall thoughts, where's Sarada's power going to come from? You think her witnessing the potential death of Naruto and even Sasuke is going to unlock Mangekyo? You think at that point Sarada could get Sasuke's eyes? He's dying, he's like, yo, you're my daughter, I never did anything for you, let me do this. I mean, hey, if they want to do some sort of reanimation and bring Sasuke back to life after he dies because Sarada wants her father so bad, who knows? Again, only time will tell. But overall thoughts, how strong will Sarada Uchiha be at the end of Boruto? Will she have surpassed everyone? And where is she during the fight against Kawaki? So that's for this one though. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, and stalk my Facebook to get more when the video ends. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day. And remember the golden rule: anime and manga for life, boy! Bow! Have an awesome day. Yo, Sarada, I'm expecting big things. We better see some hype stuff by the end of Boruto. Have an awesome day.
Making major moves, laughing at the haters lose. We don't give a fuck, virginity intact, cream stack. Paper rules, if you heard it, best believe that. But now it's whatever, one day I'll be your favorite, but never. No matter how you